and who should be in power. Then Hazrat Mir Muhammad Ishaq Sahib Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, he framed a few questions and submitted to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu, so that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I could explain the exact position and the clarification on that point, which should be a source of satisfaction for all members of the Jamaat. So when Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I saw those questions, he decided that these questions should be copied and circulated to all members of the Jamaat, and they should be asked to give in their replies in writing. And also they should assemble in Qadian on 31st of January.
When the time came for the consultative meeting, there was an attendance of about 250 delegates, representing the various branches of the movement. Khalifatul Masih arrived and delivered a short address, during which he made reference to the replies sent in by Khawaja Kamaluddin and Maulvi Muhammad Ali, and observed,
I am told that the only function of the Khalifa is to lead the prayer services and the funeral services and to make announcements of weddings and to take the covenant of new entrants into the movement. He who thinks in those terms is stupid and impertinent. He should repent, otherwise he will suffer loss. Those of you who have acted in this manner have caused me great pain and have affronted the office of the Khalifa.
فتوجه حضرة الخليفة الأول رضي الله عنه إلى الخواجة كمال الدين وإلى المولوي محمد علي اللاهوري، وطلب منهما أن يجددا بيعتهما، لأن بيعتهما الأولى بهذا العمل الذي فعلوه قد انتقضت، فما كان منهما إلا أن جددا ظاهريا هذه البيعة، ولكن للأسف هما فيما بعد قد نقضا هذه البيعة، ويعني حاولا تبريرها والقول بأنها لم تكن بيعة خلافة وإنما بيعة إرشاد أو شيء من هذا القبيل، يعني من المصطلحات التي يعرفها الصوفية، يعني أي أنها ليست بيعة فيها إقرار بالخلافة. طبعا لأجل التحرر من الإقرار بالخلافة كانوا مضطرين إلى إنكار نبوة الإمام المهدي عليه الصلاة والسلام. لماذا؟ لأن النبوة يجب أن تكون أولا ثم يجب أن تتبعها الخلافة، أو يعني الخلافة هي عمليا فرع للنبوة، فكان لابد أن يضربوا الأصل لكي يقضوا على الفرع، فبذلك هم قد نقضوا إيمانهم للأسف بالإمام المهدي عليه الصلاة والسلام، ثم نقضوا بيعتهم للخليفة الأول من خلال هذه الفكرة. ولكنهم للأسف قد وقعوا في هذا الأمر، مع أنهم كانوا قد وقعوا سابقا إعلانا كان فيه يعني إقرار واضح بأنهم يعترفون بنبوة الإمام المهدي عليه الصلاة والسلام، ويعترفون بحضرة مولانا نور الدين أنه هو الخليفة الأول له، وذلك عقب أو في فترة قريبة جدا من فترة وفاة الإمام المهدي عليه الصلاة والسلام.
On the occasion of the Eid in October 1909, Khalifatul Masih, in delivering his address, stressed the importance of unity and of obedience to the Khalifatul Masih. In the course of his address, he stated,
I affirm it emphatically, calling God to witness, that I shall never put aside the robe with which God has invested me. If the whole world, including all of you, were to stand up in opposition to me, it would not affect me in the least. You should fulfill your covenant, and you will then see how fast you will go forward and what success you will achieve. I have to say these things in view of certain circumstances that have arisen. I have God's promise that He would lend me His support. I have no need to call upon you to enter into a fresh covenant of Bai'at. You should carry out your original covenant, lest you should be involved in hypocrisy. If you perceive that I am in error in respect of something, you should try through prayers that I may be shown the right path. But do not imagine that you can teach me the true meaning of some verse of the Holy Quran, or of some hadith, or of some statement of the promised Messiah ﷺ. If you consider that I am foul, supplicate God that He might remove me from the world. Then you will see on whom the supplication recoils.
In 1910, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih resigned his office of president of the Sadr Anjuman Ahmadiyya and appointed Sahibzada Mirza Mahmud Ahmed to be president of the association. Thus the confusion between the authority of the President, the Anjuman and the Khalifatul Masih was cleared up.
Khalifa means the successor, and a successor has to fulfill that objective for which the Prophet has been working. So when Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I was appointed as the Khalifa of Hazrat Masih Maud, there were certain things which he thought they were just in the early stages and they need to be completed. For example, in Talimul Islam High School, there was a class which was known as the theological class, Diniyat class, in which particular emphasis was given on religious matters, and that was introduced in Talimul Islam High School. But later on, the wish of the promised Messiah ﷺ was, particularly at the demise of Hazrat Mauli Abdul Karim Sahib and Hazrat Maulana Burhanuddin Sahib, both great scholars of the Jamaat and great servants, that promised Messiah ﷺ wanted that there should be a sort of Madrasa Ahmadiyya established in Qadian so that future missionaries could be trained and should be taught in that institution.
Consequently, the foundation stone for the new building of Madrasa-i Ahmadiyya was laid on the 1st of March 1909. Hazrat Sayyid Muhammad Salva Shah was appointed its first principal. This Institute of Theological Studies is still operating in Qadian. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I was keenly aware of the need for Hindu-Muslim unity, and he was also very well aware that this cause was very dear to the promised Messiah, who worked till the last days on Perame Sulah, a lecture which was designed to generate an urge for unity. He therefore made arrangements for the delivery of this lecture, which the promised Messiah had completed before his demise.
So later on, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I decided that it should be read out to a gathering in Lahore. So on the 26th of June 1908, this paper was read out by Khwaja Kamaluddin Sahib, and the meeting was presided over by Justice Chatterjee, who was a judge of the Lahore High Court. There were thousands of people who listened to this lecture, and it was highly acclaimed by the newspapers and by other media.
Huzur directed the community that every year an examination in certain prescribed books of the promised Messiah should be held. The first such examination was held on the 24th of December 1908. Since then, this method of study of the books of the promised Messiah has continued in the community. In the first year of the Khilafat, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I set up a public library in Qadian. He himself was a man of learning and fond of books.
हज़रत खलीफातुल मसीह अव्वल ने अपनी तमाम ज़िंदगी में बेशुमार कुतुब को इकट्ठा किया था और बड़ी दूर दूर से किताबें मंगवाकर आपको एक शौक़ था और आपने एक लाइब्रेरी बनाई हुई थी, और आपकी वफ़ात के बाद वो लाइब्रेरी जो थी वो हज़रत मिर्ज़ा बशीरुद्दीन महमूद अहमद, जो कि जमात अहमदिया के दूसरे खलीफा बने, उन्होंने उस लाइब्रेरी को बाकायदा तौर पर शुरू किया। अब सवाल ये था कि इस लाइब्रेरी को जमात अहमदिया के लिए, मतलब इन कुतुब को महफूज करने के लिए कोई जगह भी होनी चाहिए और बाकायदा एक लाइब्रेरी की शक्ल दी जाए इसको। तो उसके लिए हज़रत अम्मा जान ने, जो कि हज़रत मसीह मौद अलैहिस्सलाम की अहलियत थी, उन्होंने अपना एक बहुत बड़ा मकान जो था वो इसके लिए वक्फ किया, और हज़रत मिर्ज़ा बशीरुद्दीन महमूद अहमद साहब जो कि खलीफा सानी थे, उसमें उन तमाम किताबों को जमा किया और तमाम कुतुब को इकट्ठा किया और उनको रखा, और फिर जमात ने उससे बहुत इस्तिफ़ादा हासिल किया, बल्कि अब तक जमात उन किताबों से बहुत इस्तिफ़ादा हासिल कर रही है।
Well, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I was by nature inclined towards the poorer section of the community, toward their welfare, even before his Khilafat. He was very well known for this, that he had several students who came to Qadian, and all their expenses were paid by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I from his own pocket. So after Khilafat also, Hazrat Mir Nasir Nawab Sahib, who was the father-in-law of Hazrat Masih Maud had established an organization called the Daruz Zu'afa, that is the house for the poorer section of the community, And there he looked after the poor section of the community. He will provide food for them. He would, and Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I, when he became the Khalifa, he supported him with everything that he could.
He also decided to set up a small dispensary, which later grew into a hospital. In 1918, it was named Maulana Nuruddin Memorial Hospital, and to this day is engaged in serving humanity. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I launched a scheme to provide houses for the poor. The first house was built from the funds provided personally by Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I himself.